Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Seaton. I teach at Christenberry Elementary, and I hope that you're staying safe and well, and you are still practicing social distancing. I want to give a quick shout out to all my little berry cardinals from Christenberry. Last week, we were talking about the continents and oceans of the world. And so today we're going to continue our lesson with the continents and the oceans. We're going to do a quick review of the continents, but we're going to go a little bit more in depth with the oceans today. But let's get started with reviewing what we did last week. Last week's task was I had asked for you to label and locate and place all of the continents on your map. I hope you were able to do that, and this is my example. So today, let's go ahead and start reviewing about the continents, and we start off with our favorite song, as always, with Hopscotch.
The world is split up into continents, there are 7 in all. And if you get the gist, we're gonna make a list from biggest to small. They are Asia, Africa, North and South America, Antarctica, Europe, and finally Australia. Asia, Africa, North and South America, Antarctica, Europe, and finally Australia.
Hey, my name is Asia, and more than half of the world lives here, but whatever. And I am Africa with desert for miles, and my Nile is the longest river. North America, start down in Panama, wide open spaces all the way to Canada.
I'm South America with animals galore, where the rainforest grows, cause the rain really pours.
I'm Antarctica, and I'm totally ours.
And I'm Europe, you're welcome, for the pasta, pizza, waffles, and fries.
I am Australia, some call me Oceania. I got a lot of islands, too many to explain to ya.
We are Asia, Africa, North and South America, Antarctica, Europe, and finally Australia.
I hope you enjoyed that song as much as I do. So now let's go to our actual activity for today. So we're going to go through the 7 continents. Remember, North America is in the northwestern hemisphere. South America is in the southwestern hemisphere. And you should be able to tell where North America and South America are. Well, because North America, we live there, and South America is directly below North America. Africa is the continent in the middle of our map. Europe is right above Africa. And another thing to think about Europe is it has tons of peninsulas. And if you remember back to your landforms lessons in August and September, you know that a peninsula landform is a body of land that is surrounded by water on 3 sides. Then there's Asia, which is the largest continent on Earth, followed by Australia, which is an island and a continent. It's also called Oceania sometimes because it has all these different islands around Australia. Then there's Antarctica, which is at the bottom. And we know that Antarctica is not accurately represented on the map because on a globe, which is round, Antarctica is directly at the very bottom of the Earth. So let's review about North America. The major languages of North America are English, Spanish, and French. The surrounding oceans and sea are Arctic Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Caribbean Ocean, and Pacific Ocean. The population of North America is 574 million people. There are 23 countries in North America. North America has 9 million square miles, and 16.50% of the total landmass on Earth makes up North America. South America's major languages are Portuguese and Spanish. The surrounding oceans are the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. South America's population is 418 million people, and there are 12 countries in South America. The landmass of South America is 12% of the Earth, but it is 6 million square miles. Europe's major languages are German, English, French, Spanish, and Italian. The surrounding oceans and seas of Europe are the Arctic Ocean, the Black Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Atlantic Ocean. The population of Europe is 738 million. There are 49 countries on the continent of Europe. Europe has 3 million square miles and has a total landmass of 6.80% of the earth. Africa's major languages are English, French, Arabic, and Swahili. The surrounding oceans and seas are the Mediterranean Sea, the Red Sea, the Indian Ocean, and the Atlantic Ocean. Africa's population is 1,186 million. There are 54 countries on the continent of Africa. Africa has 11 million square miles and takes up a landmass of 20.40% of the earth. Asia's major languages are Chinese, Hindi, Urdu, Bangla, Arabic, and Japanese. The surrounding oceans of Asia are the Arctic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and the Indian Ocean. Asia's population is 4,393 million people. The number of countries are 48. The area of Asia is 16 million square miles, and the total landmass is 29.50% of the earth. This is why Asia is our largest continent. Australia's major language is English. The surrounding oceans are the Indian Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and the Southern Ocean. The population of Australia is 39 million. The number of countries is 14. Remember, we're including the little islands around Australia. The area of Australia is 3 million square miles, and the total landmass is 5.90% of the earth. Last is Antarctica. Antarctica's surrounding oceans are the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and the Indian Ocean. The population is 4,490. Remember, in Antarctica, you cannot live there permanently, and there's no countries that can set up permanent residence, but you can go there to do research. The area of Antarctica is 5 million square miles, and the total landmass is 9.20% of the earth. So now that we've learned and reviewed a little bit about our continents, can you tell me which one is North America? That's right, this is North America. Remember, we live on North America. Can you tell me which one is South America? That's right, South America is directly below North America. So if you can find North America, you should be able to find South America. Can you tell me which one is Europe? Remember, Europe has a lot of peninsulas. That's right, that's where Europe is. Can you tell me which one is Africa? That's right, that's where Africa is. Remember, Africa is in the middle of our map. Can you tell me which one is Asia? Remember, Asia is our largest continent. Next, can you tell me which one is Australia? That's right, that's where Australia is. Remember, Australia is an island and has lots of little smaller islands around it. Last, can you tell me which one is Antarctica? That's right, Antarctica is at the very bottom of our map. But remember, it doesn't accurately represent what Antarctica looks like because we are looking at a flat map. We are not looking at a globe. Now, let's review a little bit about our oceans with our hopscotch song.
About 70% of the surface of the earth is ocean water. And it's divided up in 5 parts from biggest to smallest. Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, Arctic. Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, Arctic.
A Pacific, to be specific. I'm a third of the Earth's surface where my turf is. And my Mariana Trench is the very, very deepest in the sea.
And I'm the Atlantic, named after the Greek god Atlas, with the Bermuda Triangle and the Gulf Stream in me.
I'm the Indian Ocean, I'm the warmest around.
And I'm the Southern Ocean where Antarctica is found.
And I'm the Arctic, the smallest and the shallowest. But that's fine, you see, I've got more ice than you've ever seen. Even polar bears walk on me. We're the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, Arctic. Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, Arctic.
One more time.
Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, Arctic. Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, Arctic.
All right, so that's going to get us started on our lesson about the continents. Okay, so there are 5 major oceans of the world. We're going to start off with the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean begins in Asia and goes all the way down to Australia. Then it goes across to the North America, all the way down North America to South America. It goes up north to the Arctic Ocean, and it goes down to the Southern Ocean. One thing about the 5 major oceans is that they're all connected, but they have separate names. So let's talk more about the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean takes up a big chunk of the earth. It takes up most of the earth. There are lots of islands that spread through the Pacific, including the Hawaii and the Tonga Islands. In the bottom of the Pacific is called the Mariana Trench, and this is what I'm showing you, is the Mariana Trench. It has the deepest part called the Challenge Deep. It is over 36,000 feet deep. Mount Everest, which is the highest mountain on Earth, would still not be as deep as the Challenge Deep in the Mariana Trench. The next ocean I want to talk about is the Atlantic Ocean. It is also a large ocean. It reaches from North America. It comes all the way down and kind of forms an S. It goes over to Europe and Africa. It touches the Arctic Ocean and the Southern Ocean. I like the picture at the bottom because you can see where the Atlantic Ocean touches the Pacific Ocean. There are several islands in the Atlantic Ocean, as you can see. The Atlantic Ocean is a one of a kind because it looks like an S and follows the borders of the continents. Many thousands of ships have crossed the Atlantic Ocean, and some have even sunk in the Atlantic Ocean that are still waiting to be found. Also with the Atlantic Ocean is the Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream is important because it helps determine the temperature and the weather in North America and Europe. Next, we're going to talk about the Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean has several boundaries. It has Africa, it has South Asia, it has Australia, and it has the Southern Ocean. It is also the largest breeding grounds for the humpback whales. Look how big the humpback is compared to an elephant. Next, we're going to talk about the Southern Ocean. It is also known as the Antarctic Ocean, which water encompasses the continent of Antarctica. It touches 3 oceans, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Pacific Ocean. The world's largest penguin species, the emperor penguins, live on the ice of the Southern Ocean. The Southern Ocean is the coldest ocean because of the sheets of ice that cover Antarctica. Next, we're going to talk about the smallest ocean, which is the Arctic Ocean. It surrounds the North Pole. There is no land, only ice and water. During the summer, some of the ice melts and becomes ocean water. And in the winter, it freezes again and becomes sheets of ice. Even though you might not always see it, there is a lot going on under the ocean. There are volcanoes. Living things also live in the ocean. Hundreds of thousands of different species of plants and animals live in the ocean. From tiny krill, which this is tiny krill, to the giant animal, the blue whale, which is the largest animal on Earth, all live in the ocean. This picture shows of a volcano erupting underwater in the ocean. Strange animals such as the octopus and the cuttlefish live in the ocean. Don't forget about sharks, they also live in the ocean. Way down deep, you will find strange creatures that have to use bioluminescence to light themselves because it is so dark and so deep in the water that there's no light to be found. Let's not also forget about birds. Birds are very important to the ocean. They rely on the water also. So now that we've kind of reviewed our oceans, can you tell me which one is the Arctic Ocean? That is correct. That is the Arctic Ocean. Remember, it's part of the North Pole. Next, can you tell me which one is the Southern Ocean? That's correct. That is the Southern Ocean. Remember, it's around Antarctica. Can you tell me which one is the Pacific Ocean? Now, this one's kind of tricky, but I think you can get it. That's correct. The Pacific Ocean is both on the right and the left-hand side of our map because the Pacific Ocean is, again, we got to think about our globe. Our globe is round and our map is flat. But the Pacific Ocean goes from Asia to Australia and North and South America. Can you tell me which one is the Atlantic Ocean? That's correct. The Atlantic Ocean is number 8. It's right here in the middle, and it touches North and South America and Europe and Africa. Can you tell me which one is the Indian Ocean? That's correct. Right here is the Indian Ocean. It goes from Africa, South Asia, Australia, and the Southern Ocean. So today's task is going to be where you are going to have to name and locate the continents and oceans of the world. I've given you an example. So this one here is the Indian Ocean. So I wrote in Indian Ocean. For number 1, I labeled it North America. For a challenge, I'd like for you to put a star on the continent that you live on. All right, guys, so that's our lesson for today on continents and oceans. I hope you learned a little bit more. Remember, you can always go online and research more about the oceans and the continents of the world. I hope you continue to stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye.